Hello dear students, welcome back to the YouTube channel of NIRS of Class 6 Science. Dear students, in the previous class we were discussing about the disappearing trick of water under the concept of water cycle. Okay, so we have seen that cloths get dry up, so when they are put up on a thread, okay, or a wire in a hot sun, so immediately in a short period of time we see that the cloths get dry up. Okay, so if the wet cloths are put on the wires, okay, so this is what due to the process of what disappearing trick of water, that is nothing but evaporation. So we have already we have done an activity in 6 in the chapter number 5, so wherein we have discussed about, so water with the salt, it gets dissolved in it when it was heated. Okay, so water with the salt which is mixed, dissolved with the salt, okay, so in the inside of the water is heated up. So what happens here at the time? So water gets evaporated, only salt is left behind. So we find that water got evaporated, okay, and the salt only was left behind. Okay, so this activity gives us an idea that on heating the water changes into its vapor. So by seeing this activity we understand that, so the water changes into vapor form when it is heated. So this idea we get. Okay, so we also realize from this activity that the water vapor does not carry away the salt with it. Yes, when the water which is added with the salt, and which is nothing but a salt solution, so when we heat the salt solution, so water is evaporated completely, only salt was left behind. So that means this activity gives us an idea that, so on heating the water changes into vapor form. So we also realize that from this activity the water gets evaporated, but the water vapor does not carry the salt also along with it. Okay, so water vapors so formed become a part of the air. So whatever the water vapor is formed now in the form of vapor form, so that rises up and reaches a form of a, it becomes a form of the atmosphere, and it becomes a part of a air, that becomes a part of the air now, and cannot be usually be seen. So we cannot see that water vapor in our naked eye. Okay, so that is just, it is in the evaporation form. So we also found that heating is essential to convert water into its vapor form. So we have to understand that, so water we have to heat it. Okay, so heating is very essential to convert water into vapor form, into its vapor form. So however, we have also seen that the water changes into its vapor. Okay, we also seen that the liquid water changes into vapor. Okay, liquid water changes into vapor form when it is whatever the water which is present in the fields or roads. Okay, so during the raining the roads are filled with the water, even in the fields, and even the rooftops, top portion of our houses, and even from the land areas. Okay, so we also discussed in chapter number 5 that how to obtain the salt. Okay, so that process we have understood. Water from the rivers and water from the seas and oceans, it is left in a shallow areas, shallow pits. In a shallow pits the water is made to stand. So we will let them to evaporate, we will let the water to evaporate for few days. So what happens, the water gets evaporated, so again what happens there, the salt is left behind. Okay, so from where does this water gets the heat it needs to evaporate? That is from the sunlight. Okay, so let us find out that. So here there is one more activity number 2. Let's see that. Take two similar plates. You have to take two similar kinds of plates. Place one of the plates in sunlight. So one plate you have to keep it in the sunlight, and another plate you have to keep it in the other shade, under the shade. You have to keep it under the shade. Under the shade means no, just shade should be there under the tree. So in such place you have to keep one plate, another one you have to keep it in the sunlight. Okay, so now you have to pour equal amount of water in each of the plates, in both the plates which is kept in the shade and which is kept in the sun. Here you can see in the diagram. Okay, so this plate is kept under the shade. Okay, because it is a roof is there. So this plate is kept under the sun. Okay, so now you see, observe that carefully. Okay, what is that you need to observe here? See, so we have to observe the two plates after every 15 minutes. Okay, so even you can use the cap of bottle to measure the water. now equal amount of water you have added to for both the plates, and you can use the cup of the bottle or cap of the bottle you can use to measure how much of amount of water you have taken in both the plates. Okay, so make sure that the water does not spill over. So when you are putting the water in those two plates, you have to make sure that water does not spill outside. So you have to observe the two plates after every 15 minutes. Every 15 minutes you have to check what is the amount of evaporation taking place in both the plates. So from which plate does it disappear first? From which of the plates the water gets evaporated very fast in 15 to 20 minutes? So does that water seem to be disappear? Yes or no? Yes, you have to remember that. So from which plate does it disappear first? Then, so from which plate this water gets disappeared faster or and first? So what is the source of the heat for this evaporation? So from where the heat is occupied to the land. Okay, from what is the source of this heat for this evaporation process? So for the process of evaporation, some source of heat should be there. From where it comes? Directly from the earth. Okay, so during the daytime the sunlight falls on the water. Okay, so during the daytime what happens? The sunlight falls on the water in oceans, lakes, okay, and mid ponds. Okay, so the field and other lands, the areas, they receive a lot amount of sunlight. Okay, so as a result the water from all these places will continue immediately and continuously change into vapor. Okay, however the salts dissolved in the water are left behind. Okay, so dear students, let me stop here and let me continue the next concept in the next class. Thank you and have a nice day.